Good morning, guys. I'm just gonna show you guys some of this art, which I did before, but I think it expired. Of course, that video expired because they only last for 24 hours. It's all good. Hi, I was just thinking about you. I'm gonna follow up with you to see what you want to do. What you want to do. Good morning, guys. So we're having a wine and art. These are weird, aren't they? We're having a wine and art event this Friday. And okay, so look at those. They're made out of like yarn. And so anyway, so we have art up in our office. It's kind of cool, but also kind of creepy a little bit. And then the art on the other side is really nice. So this is not what the topic is about, but I just figured I would do this while I'm waiting on people to hop into the scope. Looks better this way. Isn't it creepy? And you're invited, by the way, if you happen to be on this side of the water. I think it's Friday evening. I'm going to send you a... Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. So I'm going to go outside. Hopefully it's warmed up enough for me to not freeze out there while I do this Periscope. And hold on, let's test it out. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Good morning. Okay, so I'm Rashida Clark. I am a realtor in Hampton Roads, Virginia. I always say Hampton Roads just because it's easier. That's the area I'm most familiar with, and that's the area that I typically service. Hi, Valerie.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
And even though I'm licensed in the state of Virginia, all your agents are licensed in Virginia, but most of them try to only service the areas that they're familiar with because that's how I can serve my clients the best. So I wanted to talk, hopefully briefly, about 100% loans, which I have a tendency of saying that and people go, what is that? So basically, if you're getting a 100% loan, you're not putting any money down. So a no money down loan. What does that mean? And I know that sounds crazy, right? Because it seems obvious, like I can buy without having any money. Duh, I don't have to put a down payment down. Okay, so that's partially right. Partially. If you're getting a loan where you don't have to put any money down, what it means, good morning, welcome to the scope. What that means is you don't have to make a down payment, but you still need to have money. You need money for your home inspection. That's not going to be covered in your loan. You need money for potentially for closing costs if the seller isn't going to pay your closing costs. So a lot of times people get down payment and closing costs confused. They're not the same thing. They're two different things. Thank you for inviting your followers. So if your seller is the seller is who you're buying the home from. So if the seller is not going to pay closing costs for you, then you need money for your closing cost. And then sometimes, depending on the type of loan that you're getting, hello, welcome to the scope, guys. They also want, the bank, the lender also wants to make sure that you have money in the bank, what they call reserves. So you guys, the topic is no money down loans. What does that mean? Hi. What does that mean? That's what the topic is, you guys. Welcome to the scope. I'm Rashida Clark. I'm a realtor in Hampton Roads, Virginia. My office is in Newport News, Virginia. And we're talking about no money down loans. Even if you're getting a no money down loan, you still need to have money somewhere. And so one of the things that, thank you guys, one of the things that, I'm from here. One of the things that prompted this scope topic is I was working with a buyer, and so this is a business scope, you guys. Welcome to the scope. This is a business scope about real estate. I was working with a buyer who basically had no money at all, and which people think, okay, I'm getting a no money down loan, but so why do I really need any money? I mean, right? That makes sense. But you still have to have money to pay for your stuff. You still have to have home inspection money, which is usually like between $200 and $400, depending on the size of the house. You have to have money for your down payment. Sorry, not your down payment, your closing costs. I was just talking about down payment and closing costs. They're not the same. So if the seller isn't paying closing costs for you, you need that money for your closing costs. And then sometimes you need what the lenders call reserves. So they want to know that you have money in the bank should something happen. Usually it's like a month or two of your mortgage payment. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, generally anyone can get a no money down loan. Usually a lot of those loan products are for first-time homeowners. First-time homeowners are technically people who have not owned in 3 years. So even if you've bought a home before, but you sold it, you lost it in a short sale, you had to move for a job, you rented it out, whatever, and it's been 3 years, you're considered a first-time home buyer again. I actually have a document that lists all of the different aspects or different things that can happen in real estate, like foreclosure, deed in lieu of, short sale, bankruptcy, and how long after those events can you apply for a home loan again and be approved. But if you haven't owned in 3 years, if you still live in it, then you're not considered a homeowner, a first-time homeowner. But some banks still offer, hi from Turkey, some banks still offer no money down products for owners, current homeowners. You just got to shop it around. There is a grant out right now that can be used by, hey Shanda, that can be used by like lawnmowers. So there are grants out right now that can be used for down payment even if you currently own a home. And I'm actually having, if you're local, I'm actually having an event for that on Thursday. But that, like I said, you've got to shop it around. Only certain banks have access to certain grants. So every bank isn't going to have the same type of programs. They're not going to have the same type of loans. So that's why finding the right lender is very, very important. So if you do need a no money down loan and you currently own, you've got to go to the bank and shop around to see if they have a product for you. Most of the no money down loans are for first-time home buyers. They're for first-time home buyers, and typically they're FHA, or what most people know as FHA because that's federal. If you're in Virginia, most of the time they use a VHDA loan, which is basically in Virginia the same thing. I did. Hi guys, welcome to the Scope. Welcome to the Scope. So I am actually going to hop off. I just wanted this to be kind of short and sweet
until I got home,
if possible. So hopefully that cleared it up. You still need a little money in the bank if you're getting a no money down loan, you guys. There's still a couple things you got to pay for, but you are no money down. Basically, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay that down payment. Yes, speak with you later because I want to see what your thoughts are. I haven't seen anything good come on the market. You're welcome. I'm glad it was helpful for somebody. You know, the market's good, you guys, but there's not a lot of inventory. There aren't a lot of houses on the market. And so I'm having a hard time finding my buyers some good stuff. That's a good thing, kind of, but not really when you really want to close on something. So anyway, I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you guys later too. Bye.